if you want to play it really safe, you better think of this as an extension. Or this one, a diagonal move. I'm just kidding, but this is a great shape. It can never be invaded, and it can only be captured as a whole. But quite seriously, this is a very solid shape. Or maybe this one, very difficult to invade. But as soon as there's a distance of at least 3 spaces between your stones, like this, you can be sure that somebody's going to plug a stone right inside and try to invade it. And it's not really a problem. You just have to know that it's going to happen, and you got to be prepared for this. So in this lesson, I'm going to talk about this specific shape. We're going to talk about Daidaigeima. And why am I giving you a Japanese word for this, and such a useless one at that? To answer this question, we have to go back and have a very short Japanese terminology lesson. Now, this shape is known as keima in Japanese. Keima means a knight's move. The second character actually means a horse. But when you make it like this, it becomes bigger, and it turns into ogeima. O meaning big in Japanese. A large knight's move. But what about this one? This has got to be even bigger. And this is Daidaigeima, meaning the super big, extra large knight's move. Now, do you see a problem with this? With me saying extra large knight's move all the time? That's 4 words. So Daidaigeima it is. Before I show you invasions here, let's turn this into an actual game position. This is a game between 2 cube players. It looks like Kobayashi opening was played, and at this point White decided to invade into our Daidaigeima. And notice that even now, White doesn't really have to invade. For example, White has a choice of playing something like this to play for the upper side, or maybe even something like this to make it grow, or maybe even kick this stone to keep the corner and give up this territory. But in the game, White played an invasion. And by the way, what's the proper invasion point here? I've seen a lot of beginners play this move, and this can go right into the glorious collection of typical mistakes, because this move, even though it looks like an invasion, but it doesn't work, because Black can simply connect like this, and the black stones can be separated after this. If White tries to cut, Black will cut. Now, Atari, Black will descend, and now if White goes here, Black will Atari, and then capture the stones, and if White connects, Black will connect in the second line as well. All of Black's stones are connected, White got nothing. So this exchange only helps Black solidify the bottom area. White shouldn't play like this. If White wants to invade, then this is the move. And these points, A and B, are like mi for this position. If White plays one of them, Black should take the other. So in the game, White invaded like this, correctly. And the next question is, how should Black respond? Some smarty pants out there might be thinking about this move, trying to keep the white stone inside and take the whole thing. But we don't need that kind of complications here. There could be an astronomical number of variations after this move. So for example, White is not going even to push like this and allow Black to block, even though this might be possible, but White will probably attach here. And then when Black responds, White can play like this, and this could be a ko, if White has many ko threats, or White could play a double hane like this. Or White can cut. And there's no way for Black to keep the whole territory after this. Who needs that kind of confusion here? Okay, let's go back. I'm tired of waving my hand all the time, so Mike, can we get a magic button here? Thanks. The only response I'm going to recommend to you to keep it simple is here. And now White needs to make some choices. First off, there's a very powerful move for White here next. It's definitely the most severe follow-up, but some conditions have to be met for White to play this move. So can you guess what move I'm talking about? What's the toughest move for White here? The move is, and this should be the first option that you consider, to play this wedge. Why is it so good? It's only a wedge, Black can Atari next, but let's see why it's so powerful. Here's White's plan. If Black Ataris from the outside, White will connect. Now, Black doesn't want to get cut here, so Black will pull back like this, and White will extend. Black has to extend, and White can extend again. You see, White lives at the bottom comfortably, and Black still has 2 weaknesses left. those two cutting points, A and B. And at some point, black will probably have to go back and protect one of them by playing here or maybe here. Next, white can simply play this and take all the points that used to belong to black. It's obvious that black can be happy about this variation. Let's go back. So what about playing Atari from the other side like this? And here come the two conditions that white needs to have in order to play this wedge in the first place. White will extend, and these two conditions are two letters. The first one is if black simply connects here, white should be able to ladder this stone. So this ladder should be favorable, and in this case, it is. White can capture the stone. If black is forced to connect like this invasion was a success. White captured a stone, and white's thickness is becoming stronger. The second ladder is here, Atari. White gives it up, black captures, and this ladder. And in this case, this ladder is also favorable for white. Both conditions are met, both ladders are favorable, so white should play the wedge. And by the way, the AI thinks that even if both ladders are good for white, black should choose this variation instead of building this wall with weaknesses on the outside, because that one was simply no good. And here, even though white captured this stone, black can hope to play a ladder breaker somewhere in this area, threatening some of these stones. White will be forced to capture, and black will get some profit on the right side. And one more thing here. If you're feeling adventurous, then before capturing this stone in the ladder, you can think about playing this Atari. But don't expect your opponent to connect here. If black just connects and allows you to take the stone now, this is a great exchange for white. We force black to connect, and then we still capture the stone. But you should be prepared that once you play this Atari, black is not going to connect. And black will ignore you and play in the corner, for example, hoping to get enough co-threats later to start this ko in the future. If this is something that looks like fun to you, you can try playing this Atari first. If not, you can simply go back and capture the stone like this. If it so happens that the ladder, or one of the ladders, is not favorable, that's okay. White can always play this extension. Black will connect, and white will still get a chance to live at the bottom. The only difference being that the life won't be as comfortable as before. So white will extend once again. Black can block like this. And then, for example, white will jump. Black extends. And white can play something like this. And next, white can either live here at the bottom or escape into the center. Notice that the black shape on the outside is a lot stronger and thicker than the one before after the wedge. And if you still think that this is a little too easy for white, let's go back and I'll show you one little AI suggestion. After white extends, black connects, and white extends again, black has the option of being a little more sneaky. Black can attach here first, just to see how white will respond to this, and then decide how we are going to respond to this invasion. For example, if white responds the normal way, now we can go back to this invasion, but instead of playing here, we can respond from the right side. And now if white goes this way, then black blocks, and now this hane goes right into this shape. See the trap? So in an actual game, white might have to ignore this attachment and place something like this here to destroy the bottom area completely, but to allow black to destroy the corner like this. And this could be an exchange. Okay, I'm getting a little distracted here, so let's go back and let me show you one last option that black can play after this white invasion into the Daidaigeima. I've modified this position just a little bit, so let's say black has a little more potential behind this shape, and white still invades. Black will still cover, but now after white plays here, black has the option of sometimes, instead of connecting here, block like this, to keep this territory instead of building the wall. Then white will push here, black blocks, Atari, black connects, white connects, and black needs to fix this weakness. This is possible, but usually it's done in a more elegant way like this. This move still takes care of the weakness because if white wants to cut, there's always a ladder that goes this way. And the black stone in the corner that got cut off still has some Aji there, so white would need to come back and add another stone there. In the past, professionals would play like this. Today, the AI suggests playing here. And what happens if black now believes he's invincible and still decides to jump into the corner? And I'm afraid this is going a little too far from the original invasion, so I'm going to have to show you this in one of the next courses. By the way, you can also watch these lessons on our platform, gomagic.org. Except there, you'll watch them with interactive quizzes right within the lessons and practical exercises right after them. And if you enjoy watching these Go videos and you don't want to miss others like this one, go smash that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and this is Go Magic.